There are 5 things in your kitchen right now that the pest control company will charge you $300 to put on your floor. The technician knows this. The training manual just calls them by different names. 15 pest tricks that make the white truck unnecessary. Let's count them down. We start with ants. Number 15. Cinnamon line at the entry points. When ants march into the kitchen in a straight line in April, they are following a pheromone trail one scout laid down a day earlier. The whole colony is reading that chemical signal like a road map. Disrupt the map and the line breaks. Ground cinnamon does exactly that. Sprinkle a 1/4 teaspoon along the windowsill, the door frame, the gap behind the dishwasher, the seam where the counter meets the wall. The strong oils in the cinnamon, cinnamaldehyde, mask the pheromone trail completely. The ants that already followed the signal cannot find their way back out, and the scouts behind them lose the trail. The line falls apart by the next morning. A jar of grocery store cinnamon runs about $2 and lasts an entire ant season. Your grandmother kept one in the spice rack. The pest control company will charge you 40 times that to do less. Number 14. Borax and sugar bait. This is the trick the chemical industry has been working around for 90 years. Borax has been sitting on American shelves since the 1891 year, when the 20 Mule Team brand started shipping it out of Death Valley. Your great-grandmother used it for laundry. Her mother used it for ants. Half a cup of sugar dissolved in a 1/4 cup of warm water with a heaping tablespoon of plain 20 Mule Team borax stirred in. Soak the mixture into cotton balls and set them in shallow lids by the baseboards where you see the ants. The sugar pulls the workers in. The borax is a slow-acting stomach poison, slow enough that the worker carries it back to the colony before she dies and shares it with the queen and the larvae. Within 10 days, the entire nest collapses from the inside out. A box of borax at the hardware store runs $4 and lasts 3 years. Same chemistry the professional bait stations use. Different price tag. Number 13. Diatomaceous earth along the baseboards. In the same farm store aisle as the borax, there is a soft white powder in a paper bag for about $6. Diatomaceous earth. Food grade only, read the bag. Pool grade is heat-treated and not safe for indoor use. The food-grade powder feels like baby powder in your hand. Under a microscope, that soft talc is 1,000,000 microscopic shards of fossilized algae. When an ant or a roach or a flea walks across a thin dusting, the shards scratch through its waxy outer shell, and the insect dries out within 24 hours. The bug cannot build resistance to broken glass. The physics do not negotiate. A thin dusting along the baseboards, behind the stove, under the refrigerator, around the door frames in the kitchen and the basement. The exterminator carries a powder duster full of the same product on his truck. The bag in his truck and the bag in your closet are the same powder. The bag in your closet costs $6 and lasts 5 years. Now we move to roaches. And this is the pest control industry made its entire fortune on. 3 tricks the old farmers used long before the chemical companies built a single factory. Number 12. Boric acid and peanut butter balls. Mix equal parts of boric acid powder and creamy peanut butter on a saucer with a butter knife until the paste is uniform. Roll the paste into pea-sized balls between your fingers. Set the balls on small squares of cardboard, under the refrigerator, behind the stove, in the back corners of the cabinets under the sink. Roaches are scavengers. They will find the peanut butter within hours. The peanut butter pulls them in. The boric acid kills them slowly enough that they walk back to the harborage and contaminate the rest of the colony through grooming and feeding behavior. By the 2nd week, the colony is gone. By the 4th week, you have no roaches. A $4 bottle of boric acid powder makes enough bait balls for an entire house and lasts 2 years stored in a sealed jar. The pest control company will quote you $400 for a series of 3 visits to do exactly this with their branded version of the same powder. Number 11. Catnip oil spray. Here is the one most people have never heard about. In 2001, entomologists at Iowa State University, led by Dr. Joel Coates, ran a series of laboratory tests on the essential oil from the catnip plant. Nepetalactone is what gives catnip its smell and its effect on cats. They found it was about 10 times more effective at repelling mosquitoes than DEET, the active ingredient in nearly every commercial bug spray sold in America. The same research group had already found 2 years earlier that catnip oil repels cockroaches just as effectively. A small bottle of catnip essential oil runs about $10 at the natural food store. A few drops mixed with water in a spray bottle, sprayed along the baseboards and in cabinet corners and around door frames, will clear roaches out of a kitchen in a week and keep mosquitoes off a screened porch for the entire evening. A pot of catnip on the kitchen windowsill. The plant grows like a weed in any Zone 5 climate, costs $3 and reseeds itself. The chemical industry has known about the Iowa State study since 2001. The catnip oil at the natural food store costs $10. The bug spray on the next aisle costs $12 and works less well. Guess which one has the marketing budget? Number 10. Bay leaves in the pantry. Every box of flour, every bag of cornmeal, every container of stored grain in the 1940s farm pantry had 2 or 3 dried bay leaves tucked inside it. The leaves give off a faint compound called eucalyptol that pantry moths, weevils, and roaches all avoid. A package of bay leaves at the grocery store costs $3 and lasts a year. Toss a leaf in the rice container, the oatmeal canister, the flour bin, the cornmeal jar. The pantry stays clean for the rest of the season. Professional grain elevators of the 1930s used this method on warehouses full of wheat before any commercial fumigant existed. Think about this for a second. The chemical aisle at the hardware store did not exist until the early 1950s. The big professional pest control industry, the white trucks and the monthly contracts and the $400 service plans did not exist before World War II. For 200 years before any of that, American farmers and farm wives kept their houses clear of pests using exactly what you have just heard: cinnamon, borax, diatomaceous earth, bay leaves. The industry grew up around the methods that already worked. Then it figured out how to charge for them. Hit subscribe right now before the next 9 tricks, because each one of them is worth roughly $300 off your next pest control bill. Now we move to the pest that empties a house faster than any other: mice and rats. Number 9. Peppermint oil on cotton balls. A mouse smells everything 50 times stronger than you do. Peppermint oil at full concentration is unbearable to a rodent. Soak a cotton ball in pure peppermint essential oil and tuck it into every hole, every gap, every pipe entry under the sink, every crack between the floorboards. Refresh the cotton balls once a week through the cold season. A small bottle of peppermint oil at the health food store runs $8 and lasts most of a winter. The exterminator who comes to set traps in your basement is charging $200 per visit for a chemistry his great-grandmother knew about in 1925. Number 8. Steel wool and caulk in the entry holes. The traps and the poison handle the mice already inside. They do nothing about the ones still coming in. A mouse can squeeze through a hole the size of a dime. Find every gap where pipes enter the house, every crack in the foundation, every space around the dryer vent. Push steel wool deep into the hole and seal over it with a tube of construction caulk. The mouse cannot chew through the steel wool. The caulk holds the wool in place. A roll of steel wool costs $4 at the hardware store. A tube of caulk costs $3. One Saturday afternoon, 20 entry holes sealed. The mouse problem is structural now, not chemical. The pest control company will never recommend this because it ends the contract. Number 7. Black pepper along the baseboards. This is the old farm wife trick that almost nobody under 60 remembers. A line of ground black pepper along the baseboards in the pantry and the basement keeps mice away. The compound piperine, what gives black pepper its bite, is an irritant to a mouse's mucous membranes. Mice will go a long way around to avoid the line. A grocery store can of ground pepper runs $4. Refresh the line once a month. The old farmers in 1935 used black pepper as one part of their mouse defense, along with a good barn cat and a tight pantry door. Now we move to fleas, the pest every dog owner in America fights every summer. Number 6, salt and baking soda in the carpet. This is the trick every American grandmother knew before there was a chemical aisle. Mix equal parts of fine table salt and baking soda in a bowl until uniform. Sprinkle the mixture generously over the entire carpet, paying extra attention to the corners, the area along the baseboards, and the spots where the dog sleeps. Use a stiff broom to work the powder down into the carpet fibers. Leave it down for 48 hours. The salt and baking soda together draw moisture out of the flea eggs, larvae, and pupae buried deep in the carpet where the chemical sprays cannot reach them. The eggs dry out and never hatch. The pupae die in their cocoons. Vacuum thoroughly on the 3rd day, going over every section of the carpet at least 3 times. Empty the vacuum bag immediately into an outdoor trash can with a tied lid. The larvae left alive in the vacuum bag will hatch and reinfest the house within a week if you skip this step. A box of salt and a box of baking soda total under $3 and treat 1,000 square feet. The professional flea treatment for a single room runs about $150 per visit. The math has not changed since 1948. Number 5, cedar shavings in the pet bedding. The same red cedar shavings sold in any farm store as small animal bedding contain a natural oil called cedrine that fleas and ticks both avoid. Sprinkle a thin layer of fresh cedar shavings into the dog's bed, under the cushion in the pet's favorite chair, around the perimeter of the doghouse if you have one. Replace the shavings every 2 weeks during flea season. A bag of cedar shavings at the farm store runs $5 and lasts most of a summer. Hardware store flea collars run $16 a piece and have to be replaced every 3 months. Number 4, rosemary flea spray for the yard. This is the trick the farm wives used on the dog yard and the porch where the dog slept long before chemical flea sprays existed. Boil a quart of water on the stove with a generous handful of fresh rosemary, the same rosemary growing in the herb garden by the back door. Simmer for 20 minutes until the water turns dark green and the kitchen smells like a Christmas wreath. Strain into a spray bottle once cool. Spray the rosemary water around the dog's outdoor area, the porch steps, the yard near the doghouse, and around the perimeter of the patio where the family sits. The cineole and camphor compounds in the rosemary are natural flea repellents that fleas have been avoiding for as long as rosemary has grown wild in the South. A bunch of fresh rosemary at the grocery store runs $3. A pot of rosemary on the windowsill grows back faster than you can use it. Here is something the pest control salesman will never explain to you on the phone. The contract he wants you to sign is monthly for a reason. The chemistry he is selling does not last longer than 30 days because it is designed not to. The borax line and the diatomaceous earth dusting and the cedar oil and the peppermint cotton balls all sit in your house and keep working for months, sometimes years, with no follow-up visit. That is the part that makes the white truck unnecessary, and it is also the part the white truck cannot afford to let you find out. Now we close with the pest that ruins the most American summers: wasps and hornets. Number 3, the soda can feeding station. This is the trick the professional pest control companies actually do use on the truck, and they would prefer you not find out about. An empty soda can. 2 cups of pure apple juice, not from concentrate, the natural sugars matter. 2 teaspoons of boric acid powder stirred in until completely dissolved. Lay the can on its side in a quiet corner of the yard. at least 20 feet from where the family eats or the children play. Wasps and yellow jackets are scavengers. They find the bait within hours. They drink, they fly back to the nest, and they share the regurgitated food with the queen and the larvae. The boric acid spreads through the entire colony over the next 3 to 5 days. The whole nest collapses from the inside. The concentration is the trick. Too much boric acid, and the wasps detect it and avoid the station entirely. 2 teaspoons per 2 cups of juice is the proven ratio. A can of soda, a bottle of juice, a $4 box of boric acid. Cost of the entire setup, under $6. The same setup is on the back of every pest control truck in America. Number 2, soapy water in a spray bottle. The simplest wasp killer ever invented and the cheapest. A spray bottle filled with water and a generous squirt of any dish soap. Dawn works best. Shake it up. The soap is a surfactant. It breaks down the waxy coating on a wasp's exoskeleton that normally keeps water out of its breathing tubes. Once the wax is gone, water floods directly into the spiracles, the breathing holes along the wasp's abdomen, and the wasp drowns in midair within seconds. Spray the nest directly at dusk or in the early morning when the colony is settled, cool, and slow. The wasps drop from the nest within seconds of being hit, not minutes. There is no chemical residue on the porch where the children play the next day. No toxic film on the patio furniture. The dog can walk through the wet spot under the eaves 5 minutes later with no problem. A can of commercial wasp spray runs $15 and leaves a pyrethrin residue that lingers for a week. A bottle of Dawn costs $3 and works as fast. One last trick, and it is the one the old farmers were already using 100 years before anyone sold a single can of bug spray. Number 1, the brown paper bag decoy. In late March or early April, before the wasp queens have started building, the old farmers in the Midwest hung crumpled brown paper bags from the eaves of the porch and the corners of the barn. The bag was inflated with a breath, the top twisted closed with a piece of twine and tied to a nail. It looked from 20 feet away like an established paper wasp nest. Paper wasps are territorial. A queen scouting for a nesting site in spring sees what looks like an existing colony already claiming the territory, and she moves on to look somewhere else. The window is narrow. Once the colonies are already established by mid-May, the bag stops working. But hung in March or early April before the queens start scouting, the paper bag has kept paper wasps off American porches for generations. The bag costs nothing. Labor is 5 minutes. Protection lasts the entire summer if you hang it before the season starts. The decorative crocheted versions sold online for $30 do exactly the same job that a free paper bag did when your great-grandfather was a boy. So here is your full system: cinnamon, borax, diatomaceous earth, bay leaves, boric acid, catnip oil, peppermint oil, steel wool, black pepper, salt, baking soda, cedar shavings, fresh rosemary, dish soap, and a brown paper bag. Total cost of the kit, under $30. Total cost of 1 year of pest control visits in the average American suburb, about $1,200. Your grandfather knew this. The pest control industry hopes you forgot. Tell me in the comments which pest is costing you the most right now. And subscribe before the next video.